Hello and welcome to Panther the Geeks. This is actually just a quick news update, really. Not something we normally do, because there's no models to show this week. But Age of Sigmar is technically out, even though it isn't out.
Yeah,
The
it's
box-
kind of weird that.
The box set isn't out, but as of this White Dwarf, which is out today, there we are. Just a quick announcement, if you didn't realise, you can download the rules for Age of Sigmar on the website right now. And you can download the rules for all the existing Warhammer models. I think there's some units which aren't included per army, but all the existing Warhammer models have got a battle scroll, which is now the thing that they use in Age of Sigmar, rather than unit entries and army books. We've now got battle scrolls, and they're all free and they're all downloadable on the Games Workshop website right now as we speak. And this is out. The actual box set is out next week, but you can download all the rules now and all the rules for your existing models right now. So technically, you can play Age of Sigmar now.
Cool.
So you don't need to wait till next week for the book and everything to come out. You can play the basic sort of game and everything right now with your existing Warhammer models. So nip over and have a look on Games Workshop website for that. There's Lizardmen though, if you're wondering. There's a little bit of a background thing on them. It's hardly a paragraph, I would call, but it does explain that they're now called the Seraphon. But the main book is actually under Lizardmen when you download it, and it just says a little bit about them being the Seraphon. That's their real name. Blah 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 blah. And then it gets into the army scrolls and Lord Croc's there, and all the people that died. Yeah, all the people that died in the end times are miraculously brought back.
I was quite
in new form.
bereft when Lord Croak died.
Technically, the world's been destroyed, but the heroes have returned.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the theme for Age of Sigmar. Sigmar seems to have brought
all the heroes back.
Yeah, they don't quote us on any of this stuff. This is all rumour at this point, because they haven't really got into any of the lore. Just what I've been told and what I've seen while we're in Games Workshop today. So we did actually go into Games Workshop today and we played a game.
We did.
So we went to Games Workshop Preston and Phil kindly let us play a game.
Yeah.
So if you get yourself down there, they've got a demo set already out.
Most Games Workshops will have a demo.
I imagine they've all got demo sets.
Yeah.
Right? Even some of the independent retailers, I believe Harlequin's got a demo set as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So that should be ready for release as well. So if you want to nip on down and have a look at the stuff, maybe they'll be able to show you. Definitely if you go into the Games Workshop, you'll be able to have a crack at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a quick go. It's very simplified compared to Warhammer. Yes, everyone has been saying about how it's child friendly and stuff like that. But to be fair, it might be child friendly in understanding the rules, but it's also friendly to everybody in understanding the rules.
Yeah.
We don't have tons of reference material we have to go through. You basically have a war scroll for every unit you have, with the rules for that unit on, and then you have the basic rules, which appears to be like a 4-page supplement.
Yeah.
Yes, with how to actually play the game. It is simplified. We're not going to joke about it. I mean, when you're in Warhammer and you're playing Warhammer, I did get a kick out of having big ranked units fighting each other, but it did get bogged down as well. So, I mean, this is the first iteration of the new Warhammer, so who knows what the future might have. Maybe it feels Lord of the Ringsy in the way the rules play, but I always liked the Lord of the Rings game, and the War of the Ring made it into big units and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I thought it played really well, but there just wasn't a lot of people playing it. And obviously, it had a shelf life based on the new Lord of the Rings films, which was always going to happen when you base it on, because the models were based on the films, not on the actual lore. A few models they did were based on the lore, the background, but the main bulk of it was based on the films. So that was its shelf life. Warhammer seems to have taken on kind of the rule set from what we've seen. We haven't seen the whole rule set, and we've only played a game
using the starter box
using
set.
the starter box set in the Games Workshop. So all this comes with a pinch of salt and citation needed. But my first impressions, it feels very much like that. And I thought the rule set is really tight. It's not playing Warhammer as such. And even though I really enjoyed playing Warhammer in the way it was, and you can still play the previous editions as long as you've got the rule books, which we do, and as long as you can find someone to play with, which is the harder part, obviously, of that equation. If you've not got a bunch of friends already, I mean, if you've got a bunch of friends that play Warhammer, you can play any of the Warhammers. It's up to you guys, and that's great. But getting a pickup game is going to be pretty difficult for an old version of Warhammer, as it always has been, if you want to play an earlier version anyway. This really is the new state of Warhammer. I don't know whether Fantasy Battles is coming back, but on the bright side, let's focus on the positives. The models are amazing.
Yeah, they were really well detailed.
I wasn't really that convinced when I first saw the picture of these guys, and a lot of people call them Sigmarines.
Sigmarines.
And I was thinking the same thing, really, because they just do like Blood Angels and then with like Ultramarines, coloured shields, and yeah, I was just thinking, yes, the big bulky Space Marine warriors. And while that might still be the case, why they're trying to attract people to it to give the good guys this Space Marine type army, they are and they aren't. Okay, I'm on the fence again with this. I was really against them. I was like, oh, these are just Space Marines, but. Having seen the models, and here's a sprue, this is the free model you get with White Dwarf, and how long has it been since that happened? This is the free model you get with White Dwarf. That's like a Terminator size base, just a reference, so yeah, 40k reference. That is what I still consider a Blood Angel style helmet, to be fair. But to me the body isn't Space Marine, it's more like a Chaos Warrior, Warhammer Chaos Warrior, especially the shape of the shield. Model wise, this is just like the normal foot soldier. I got to play with this dude. I love this
nasty.
model. I really hated it when I first saw it. I thought, oh, this is really stupid. What the hell's he riding? I don't like these spikes on his helmet. And now I've seen the model, I'm still not sure on the spikes, but the Draco Lick, or whatever it's called.
Draco Lich.
I really like it.
Yeah.
I really do like it. And I like the rest of the model.
He's got some nasty moves, like attacks kind of thing that you can use.
Rules wise, yes, as well. But again, he all comes on a war scroll. Now, I haven't really opened this. I just took the wrapper off to look at the miniature. But when we were in Games Workshop, I mean, it tells you how to put it together. The miniatures in the box set are all like a multi-part kit like that, so it's not like you can easily reposition them without some sewing and proper conversions. And they're all like plugged together kits, really. I think you can put them together without gluing them, but I think they are like a plugged together, if you will, kit. That's what it looked like to me anyway. So we've got a little bit more information, which I need to read through. Obviously, if you've got White Dwarf, you can do this yourself. I don't normally review White Dwarf. This is the first one I've ever even looked at on camera. I normally just read them myself. But I was wanting to show you. That's what. If you haven't seen, this has been obviously been on the internet for 2 weeks nearly now. This stuff, a lot of these images. If you've been searching the internet, aren't new, but if you haven't searched the internet, it might be new to you, then cool. You see that there? That's what you get in the box set. If you didn't know, you probably do, but that's the Sigmarites, that's the Chaos. So it's clear to know which ones I'll be painting and which ones Claire will be painting. I didn't even have a choice, okay?
No.
But after seeing the models, I'm quite happy with that, because especially these flying ones,
those are
prosecutors?
Prosecutors. Those are awesome models. They're just, I can't describe them. Looking at them, you just think, wow.
So those are the Games Workshop prosecutors.
Yeah.
And these will be the lawyers. That means that they're the
solicitors.
And that's the legislative team. Sorry, joke. And then we've got in the background, you can see these. They had these in the Games Workshop as well.
They did, yeah. They had all the scenery.
Yeah, it looks like the scenery is going to play a much bigger part in the game than it already did. It was kind of sidelined, but I think, like for instance, these portals in the rules, you can actually walk through one and come out the other. There we go.
Yeah, so if you have those at either end of the gaming board, you can appear behind your enemy.
Yeah, if I get them, I think I'll be painting them like the Dark Portal from World of Warcraft. It might look cool. So, pictures of the actual stone cast. What are they calling them? Stormcast Eternals. There we go.
Yeah. And
I have seen on the internet as well, they don't have to be painted in gold. They can be painted in other colours. There's different sort of like casts or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, casts.
Kinds. I don't even know what Space Marine chapters. I don't know what they're going to call them. And these are some of the core models. He's amazing.
He's really cool. That axe is nasty. It's horrific what that axe can do.
Yeah, he basically, he hit this guy and sent him back to whatever realm he came from.
Yeah.
On a 5+ without bothering about how many wounds he has or anything. So that was fun for me.
He's got a warhound that you can use as well.
Yes, he's cool. I do like this model.
Fleshhound, I think he is called, and he's quite good. So you
you
can use both of them when you attack. You can say that I'm going to attack the Fleshhound first, so you attack with him, and then you attack with your Chaos Lord or vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's not just a bit of fluff, it's not just a bit of fancy.
That banner bearer is an amazing model.
Yeah, he's quite cool.
Which, if you tune in next week, you'll see all these models on our channel.
And we'll
Just
go
get my own back.
Yeah, and we'll go through what they do as well.
And the Marauders, and so on. But again, the rules are there.
Yeah, that's the rules, isn't it?
This is actually
that's actually the rules.
These are actually the rules. So this is page 1, 2, 3, and 4.
At the end.
That's the rules for the new Warhammer.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. That really is it.
And you get a nice looking book as well in the box set.
Yes, with all the war scrolls in.
Yeah.
And those are some of the other stuff that's out next week.
You get a nice painting guide.
But this is what I was trying to get to, the actual war scrolls.
Yeah.
So this is what they actually look like, the war scrolls. If you haven't seen them already, there you go. That's the Lord Celestiant, and then the Prosecutors, and the Liberators, and the Blood Warriors. I thought it said Brood.
Brood Warriors.
Tyranids.
Tyranids are in there.
That's alright.
Excellent.
So those are some examples of what the war scrolls actually look like. And if you see, I'll come back up again. The camera's picking that up. So attack, that's how many attacks you get. You need to roll 3+ to hit, 2+ to wound there. You get -1 to rend, which is basically like armour penetration in old Warhammer. It just minuses 1 from the enemy's armour save, whatever your rend value is, and then your damage is how much damage your attack does. Simple as that. So you just roll a dice and look at that and you know where you are. There's no more weapon skill versus weapon skill tables. There's no more to hit tables. Oh, that's gone. You just basically look at that and that's what you need to roll. End of.
That's it.
These are your other stats there. So that's your movement. In this case it's 10 inches. That's your save. In this case it's a 3+. That's your bravery, which is basically your leadership.
Yeah.
It's characteristic. It works out differently, so they've renamed it to bravery. And then wounds is 7. So I was doing really well with him until he got sent back to wherever he came from.
Coventry.
So all the rules for each model will be on there, and the keywords at the bottom denote a lot of the
special rules that your character has.
Yeah.
So if your character has like Corn and Warrior or something like that, I can't remember off the top of my head. If your other
Chaos,
units,
Mortal, Corn, Blood.
So if your units have any of that in their blurb, they can use that special ability.
So your boss has a special ability that affected Corn units, didn't it?
Yes, it
So any unit's got Corn on, it affects that. So you also have noticed there's no points costs. I'm not quite sure exactly how it works, whether you're meant to... it'll probably tell me in White Dwarf, and you guys probably already know. But you just take a war scroll, and that's what you take. I don't know whether you have to agree on a set amount of war scrolls or what. I'll have to look into it.
I would have thought so, otherwise your army's going to be like massive.
But again, this is what I meant by different coloured schemes. Those guys, I really do like them.
They look nice colour.
They're nice colours.
Yeah, they are nice colours.
I like this. I've not got an army that colour, so that could be tempting. I don't have a gold army either, so...
There's new paints coming out as well, isn't there? There is a new paint coming out.
Yes, there's new paints. There's Retributor, which is the base coat, and there's a new layer, a gold layer. I think it's Liberator.
Liberator, or something like that.
Something like that. Let's just remember.
Is it in there? Retributor army.
Yeah, Liberator gold.
Liberator
and
gold.
Retributor.
And Flayed One Flesh is becoming a layer paint.
Yeah, but
yay.
Flayed One Flesh, I use it a lot, so yeah. So that's the news on Age of Sigmar. I mean, Warhammer has changed. I don't think we'll ever see it going back to the way it is. I doubt there's going to be a fancy battles version. We might get a like War of the Ring type a supplement later on where it's big armies, and I wouldn't put it past them to do that. It would make sense, and then they'll probably sell us a bunch of movement trays where we can rank things up or something like that. So that's my guess for the future. It might just be wishful thinking in some respects. Well, those are the 4. Well, everything fits into those. So you got Order, Chaos, Death, and Destruction. So you'll belong to one of those 4 factions, and all the races fit into one or the other. So Death's Nagash. Nagash is back, and Destruction is the Aurochs. Yeah, okay. They've changed the name of the Orcs to Aurochs, R UK.
And Augurs.
And Augurs.
Augurs.
So if you haven't seen that, it's a bit weird, but obviously that's for copyright reasons, and in a way, they can draw away from generic fantasy now and do what they like.
I think it means that they own the races that a lot more. There's a lot more ownership if they rename the races what they want to call them.
It helps them out with copyright.
Yeah.
But on the other flip side of that, it means they can go wherever they want.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. Oh, sorry, chaos is everything that's chaosy, which is mortals, beasts, demons, and Skaven. Skaven are in there. And an order is what used to be the Empire Sigmarites kind of thing. And the Bretonnians are in there.
No, Bretonnians are in the order.
There's rules for the Bretonnians. I think they'll come under the order section.
You see,
I think they did.
If I were the Bretonnians, I would have gone under chaos after what happened with them.
Yeah, that would.
I would have gone to order and gone off to chaos.
Well, they did kind of stomp off at the end. I thought that must be weird. But yeah, but to be fair, got Lizardmen as Seraphim, and the Dwarves are in there. They've been renamed. I can't quite remember what they're called. It's something like Dunedain. Dunedain or something. It sounds like the Dunedain from Lord of the Rings.
Like Duatar or something from
Duatar, it's something.
It is something like that.
When you look at the models, you can see a lot of like...
Dunedain? I can't remember. Never mind.
Dwarfkin.
Oh
yeah, Duradin.
Duradin. Oh well.
It's right in front of me.
We weren't far off. Probably people screaming at us now, going, "It's in front of you!"
Yes, it's right in front of you, fools. Yes. Okay, so that is just basically a quick update. And next week we'll have the box set, and we'll be able to show you the models and the full glory. And there we go. In the meantime, I'm probably going to have a look at some of the existing armies that I've got, specifically the Skaven. And you'll probably want to have a look at the Lizardmen.
Yeah, I'll look at the Lizardmen.
But this is the model. I'm going to stick this together now and show you what it is. Basically. So it won't take very long. But the next part of this video, after the Age of Sigmar, is I just wanted to have a chat to you about Malifaux, really. And if you haven't seen the latest on Malifaux, and I shall put some images up while I'm cutting this out. Malifaux has some new releases coming out. Those new releases include a starter set for Malifaux, which apparently retails at $65 American, which I don't know what that is in pounds. It will be about £40 or something like that. Roughly, I'm guessing. So this starter set for Malifaux looks really cool. So if you're thinking about getting to Malifaux, I know I had a few comments on my first Malifaux Monday. People were thinking about getting into Malifaux. This might be a good place to start, to be fair. You basically get 2 crews in the box set. They're not full crews as you might get in a normal sort of starter, sort of like the crew starter sets. It's more like they're led by henchmen. So there's 4 models a side. There's 4 there's 4 guild models, and there are 4 Neverborn models. Okay, so you get them in the starter set, along with 2 fate decks.
Yep.
So you get all your cards in there. You get a fully downloadable copy of the full rules, which is handy, and you get a quick start guide as well in there to help you with getting started with Malifaux. I can't quite remember what else is in there. There's some other stuff.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
But if you go to Weird Games, and I'll actually put it up here in front of me, or if I haven't already done that, and it actually says on the picture what's actually in the box set, but it's a good deal what you get in there.
Definitely.
Okay, and then another picture I'll be putting up is the Shifting Alliances picture, which is the next, is it Shifting Influence or Shifting Alliances?
Shifting Allegiances?
You'll be able to see that in front of you anyway. I'm trying to do this from memory while sticking together a completely different model. So basically that is the next supplement for Malifaux, which I need to get my hands on as well. And if you see the picture on the front, I kind of had a little bit of a guess as to who that picture is.
Yeah, you showed me
Yeah.
as to who it was, and we discussed it, and because of the mask, we're thinking it looks very much like Lucius, because as we know from the first book of the 2nd edition, he is Neverborn. He's always been Guild. In the 1st edition he was Guild.
Yeah.
And it never said anything about him being Neverborn, other than he always wore a mask and he was very mysterious. But in the second one, 2nd edition, they basically said, oh no, he's part of the Neverborn lot, basically.
Yes.
So this could be him, his avatar, because he's never had an avatar, and he was only recently made a master in the second edition.
He's always been a henchman.
Yeah, in the first edition he was a henchman.
And the henchmen didn't get the avatars, which are the big versions of themselves. They just got made in henchmen and were meant to just follow up in small battles and help out the masters. But having a look at the front cover, it does look a lot like Lucius's mask. And that could well be his master's, his version of an avatar.
Yeah.
And it looks quite exciting.
It does actually, it looks interesting.
Yeah. It's apparently going to introduce some sort of campaign system and releasing some cards based on that. But we're also getting a whole bunch of upgrade cards, which is something we're going to go into on Malifaux Mondays anyway. The upgrade you get with each of the different box sets when we go into the cruise and stuff.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to see all that on the Malifaux Mondays eventually when we get around to it. But the next Malifaux Monday, if you've not already seen it, will be the general rules and how you play the game basically.
Yeah.
But there we go, stuck together now. There he is. And they're not pushed together models, you do need glue. Certainly on this guy anyway. But there he is. And they have grown on me since I've seen them, so I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to paint that. I don't know what colour to do, I don't know how to do them in the gold, in which case there is a golden purple as opposed to a golden blue. And that could be pretty cool. Or I don't want to do them in that sort of, would you say it's a greeny blue? Turquoise.
It's like a turquoise blue.
Yeah, I quite like that. It's a bit
Yeah.
different. So so join us next week when I might decide how I'm going to paint them. And I hope that's been a bit of help. If you're looking at Age of Sigmar, I didn't know anything about it, you can find it on Games Workshop website all for free so far, which is excellent in my opinion.
Yeah, very good.
And the starter set for Malifaux as well. I think that's it now.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say. Just a very quick news update.
It's not turned out very quick though.
No, I've babbled on a bit actually. But there we go, there's the model one more time. That's the free one with White Dwarf. And so hopefully we'll see you soon, and hopefully we'll see you for Malifaux Mondays and next week for Age of Sigmar. So
Thanks
take
for
care
watching.
guys. See you again.
Bye.